What's up, guys? How's it going? I'm trying to be peppy and full of energy and a great hostess and all that stuff. But yesterday I worked really hard in the garden and I suffered. I feel like my mind says I'm still 40, but my body reminded me this morning that I am not. I had a headache last night that was splitting my head because I worked. But I took a lot of salt and I drank a lot of water, but I still had a headache. I woke up this morning and started moving around. The headache came back, but now I'm okay. I napped for like 2 hours this morning, and I feel a lot better. Just tired now. Muscles a little bit sore, but better. My body's laughing. So I told you, you cannot work like you used to. So I'm okay. I didn't pull anything or hurt anything, but I just feel a little bit drained. But it's a Saturday afternoon. Looks like it's going to start raining again. I wanted to share something with you today. It's been on my mind for a while, so I thought, let me share it. And that is, I understand. Well, let's put it this way. You ever go? Well, for those who haven't been to Thailand, you might not know, but maybe you've seen it on videos. You see some people's homes and you look at their house and you think, why don't you fix that up? Western mindset. I don't know if it's Thai mind or not, but I know from Western you think, why don't you paint your house? Why don't you make your garden nice? Why does it look like a dump? And I think I'm starting to understand why. Because living in the countryside in Thailand is not easy. So this is for people who are thinking about moving to rural Thailand to be with their girlfriend or whatever. It's not easy for many reasons. One is communicating. You've all heard the thing about your pockets are never deep enough, right? Somebody always needs to get your money, but that's not really what I want to talk about. What I'm talking about is how nature, what was that I said the other day? The second law of thermodynamics is basically things will always return to zero, fall apart. Wow, nice breezes come by. First time for today. So like I said, nature will take it back. Look at this. I'm going to show you just a couple examples, not to bore you, and then I'll explain the rest of it, okay? Look at this though. I don't know if you can see it with your eye, but the river is still, it's not moving at all. So the water has come up so far and stopped, which if you remember when I talked to you about what that guy said at the dam, when they're building that new dam, the mega project number 8, I think, or 7, where he took us in his office and showed everything. He said, here's like a bowl. This area, so it means it's slightly lower than the north side of Bangkok, so it actually has to be lifted up by pumping it higher, so it can get high enough to make it to Rancid. So the water gets here and gets stuck. So this is one little example, right? There's a banana tree. It's been sitting here forever, not doing anything. It looks healthy. And if you look down here, the roots are still dry, but look where the water is. So if the water comes up one more foot, it'll take that tree out. So you buy it or it's given to you, but you have to take care of it for a long time before it produces bananas. And the water comes and bingo, gone. I could take you to behind the waterfall. And there's a tree in there that the termites got into. There's another one by where my garbage can is. It's a sour tamarind tree. Termites are got in that. So what can you do? You can't, I've learned my lesson, you cannot spray it with bug spray because that will kill the bark. You can put the white powder on it. So I got on a ladder with a stick with a little, like a plate thing on the end of it. So you put the white powder in that and then you lift it up and dump it on the side of the tree. That stopped them. but they're back again. There's a tree by the river. I don't know if you remember this. There was a big tree, it's still there, by the river, and some heavy winds come, and the amount I'm talking about, like the trunk was 18 inches thick where it snapped. The termites got in it. The tree looked healthy, but when the wind blew, it snapped it and broke it off. You think, So, and it wasn't just a few days. The wind and some more wind came and snapped a big branch, and it fell down and crushed part of the corner. So by the time the wood was cut away, it wasn't worth, you know, it's okay. There's nothing to worry about. But you see what I'm trying to say? You build something and the tree falls on it. You build something and it snaps. You build something and the bugs want to eat it. You grow something and the bugs want to eat it. So this video is not intended to be negative in any shape or form. I'm making it to be informative so that you're aware of what you're getting yourself into. So right here, I have a pump. This is the pump house, right? There's the water coming. This one comes from the river, and this one pushes it into a line that goes around the garden. I got about 3 or 4 different standpoints with hoses all along, and you can water to your heart's content. So you just, I just got it like this, wired, so that you just turn the little switch on there. The pump comes on, and you can water into you got the whole river system. You can water your whole garden. So in the summertime, when it's real hot, I can still water my garden, but a lot of people, they have to pay to use their local water system, which is, you know, I pay a whole $1 a month for my water bill. I use $1 as a reference because it usually comes out at 29 to 33 baht per month, and it's about 31 baht for $1. So my water bill is $1. It's not got chlorine in it or anything like that, but I showed you before, there's a filter system video on my channel. I built a water filter system, and I've been drinking that for years. No problems at all, I don't think, anyway. So you know, you can buy water along this road on the way back to the village. There's these little buildings that have water filter systems in, and it's the same thing, but on a commercial scale. Same filter systems, just bigger. So I just change mine about twice a year for the amount of water I drink. So this is my shower outside that I made. Why do I shower outside? My house sunk. Remember that video? Why did it sink? Because it flooded 2 times. And when the water comes up, you're sitting in the water for 3 weeks at a time. So that water goes down under the ground, makes the foundation soft, and the house tilted. So the front door is 7 inches, so diagonally across, front door is 7 inches lower than my shower. So rather than the water flowing backwards into the shower drain, it's trying to flow into my living space. So I have an idea how to fix it. I'm not going to jack the house up, but I have to figure an idea. I have to get on with it. It costs a little bit of money. The money is not the issue. The issue is stress of having to figure it out and stress of having to do it. So, but there's many other things that come up on a regular basis. You know, like just the other day, it happened again. There's ants all over my front door, just to the side by the corner of the window. I'd say, okay, so your new friend is cans of bug spray, but you get to breathe that in if you're not careful. So you spray it on the outside. So what do? They run on to the inside. So you go in the house and the wall's black. I think last year or the year before, there was bugs on the outside, so I sprayed them. I went in, sat down, I'm looking at my computer, and all of a sudden I looked up on the wall, and literally a 3 foot circle was black with ants. I'm like, dude, are you serious? So what do? You spray bug spray in your living space. But this is rural Thailand. It's not bad. It's you just have to remember that if you're going to carry your bum off and live in rural Thailand, countryside, then what's to be expected? You're going to have, there's like last time you can, about 7 different types of ants, and about 4 of them sting. One of them stings almost the same as a scorpion. I mean, I haven't been stung by a scorpion, but there's a big black ant that's like an inch long, almost an inch long. If that bugger stings you, the pain is excruciating, I can tell you, because I've been stung with them by a couple times. Luckily, it only lasts about 24 hours. The brown ones will sting you if you're not used to it, right? When I first come, they sting and itch for like 3 days. But when you get used to it, they sting, you just say, get off. And now I get bit by them and nothing. You feel the pain for like, it's more of a prick than the pain anymore, because your body gets used to it, because you've been stung so many hundreds of times. But they're like the aggressive brown army ant. Scorpions, centipedes. When I had the guys here, they say there's a centipede. Sorry, yeah, centipede. It's like I guess you could say that has like 30 legs, something like that. Looks more like a crab legs, long, skinny. And when they see them, they go, ooh, and they like run off, because they're, well, that tells me that it's super stingy. But there's so I can go on. So there's a lot of things that are hard to live here, that you build something. So what building materials should you be looking at? Galvanized metal, because it doesn't rust. Well, eventually I guess it does, but galvanized, and then you can paint it. They have this rust paint here. It's like it's almost like a plastic. It's literally, you paint it on and it's like a plastic, so it covers and protects the metal. So I forget the name of it, but you can find it in the hardware stores. It's not that bad. So if you build anything, you build, you have to do extra big footings, because the ground is clay, and clay is a nightmare to build in. And then build it deep enough and high enough, so if you have a flood area, if it's, how high can it flood in your area, so you think, okay, I need to go up even taller than this for whatever reason. And then, you see my point? So every area is different. So I've been in this house 10 years, right? I lived in an apartment, but my body was like wanted to be in nature again. So I didn't have an experience of living in nature in Thailand before I come to this house, right? I have in the US in many different places, but what have I learned? The first thing you need to do before you build anything or do anything is ask the locals how high the water comes up. What are your chances of flooding? And if you can, don't even think about it, just pay 1,000 baht per truckload of dirt. And somebody's always selling dirt, and if you buy like 10 truckloads, something like that, they'll give you a digger for free to level it all off. And then the trick is, you let that go, that dirt sits there for one rainy season, so it will settle down, come down, and then you can start to build on it the following year in the summer when it dries out. See? So my point is not negative, I say again, not negative, but positive. Before you decide, I'm going to live in rural Thailand, if you want to do your homework, there's a lot of things to think about. Like my friend Andy I talked about the other day, he came from somewhere near, he worked for Boeing. He was like a tractor driver, pulling stuff around and delivering things to the different sheds where they built Boeing. So when he came here, I was working on the Waterfall, and he came here, and he got bit by some kind of bug, and it wasn't biting me, but it bit him, and his legs swelled up. He came back, and the same thing happened. So he was reluctant to come and hang around. So if you're not used to being in nature, that's one thing. If you're used to it, then it's not so bad like I was. But because they're different bugs, your body reacts different. I had an ex that moved from the UK with me to the US, and when she got bit by mosquitoes, she literally had to put ice cubes on the mosquito bite because they were generating so much heat, and it was swelling up. So it works both ways. So if you come here, there's a lot to learn. Bugs, lizards, snakes. Nobody wants the snakes to bite you. And most, lizards and stuff like monitor lizards, normally they'll run off. But the main thing is bugs to bite you. But what do you call it? Whatever, I forget the name of the cream now. You just put the cream on, and antihistamine cream, and that works good for things you're not used to. But normally I don't bother anymore. Sometimes mosquito bites will get me, but normally I'm okay. But I just been thinking about this for a few days, and I thought, you know something? I think I feel like I need to share this for some reason. And I thought, how do you share this without being negative? And that's what I'm trying to do. It's not a negative thing, it's a positive thing. You have to, in a survival situation or any situation, you need to have information and be prepared. So, if you think, I'm going to build a house, okay, does it flood there? The other thing you can do is you can build a concrete wall, which a lot of people do. Build a concrete wall all around, and then you put like a big hump in front of right where your gate is. So you have to go up like 1.5 meters to get inside, to go through the gate. So that way you're protected by that little barrier. So there's a lot to learn about building houses that I did not know about. I didn't know anything about building in clay or in flood areas or anything. So maybe I feel like I want to share that. But a lot to learn, and you have to think to yourself, if you're in Thailand, well, I talked about this before, remember about the visa thing, about where to live? Because every year you have to reapply for your retirement visa, and they don't make it easy. Sometimes I think it's made that way so that you can slide some little pieces of paper with a few zeros on the end of it to get some help. But I forget who it was told me, in the Philippines, you get your visa, and that's it, you've got it, retirement visa, that's yours. You still pay to renew your picture each year or whatever, but you have your visa. So, my point of saying that is, you're emptying your pocket, shelling out this money to build this and stress over this and build that and stress over this, and you don't even know if you can stay. Because you're a Falang. You don't know if you can stay. So you think, hang on, I've invested all this money into this property. These things are biting me. Thermodynamics is trying to steal my home from me. Nature's going to take it back. So if you're a weak person, I don't mean that negatively, whereas things stress you out too fast, then think twice. You might want to stay in an apartment. But the reason I come here is because I love. You've seen Ray walk around, and he's coming now. He's coming for some more food now. I have a t-shirt on, so he's not happy. If I have something in my hand or a t-shirt on, he doesn't like to come close. But if I'm outside with nothing in my hand and no t-shirt, he'll literally walk right up and stand 2 feet from me until I give him some food. And he's gone down the hill now. So yeah, this is all these different plants and the rivers here and all this. This is in my heart. But it's not easy. I said I'm going to move to an apartment. I'm like, but then I have to pay rent. I bought this house, So I don't have no rent. I don't pay rent each month. So if I move from here, I have to start paying rent. So it's all these things to think about, right? So, I said this about 4 times now. I'm not trying to be negative. I'm trying to be informative. So I hoped this sheds some light and gives you food for thought so that you don't keep paying out money and you spend, you know, 100,000, 200,000, 500,000, and then say after 2 or 3 years you say, I can't stay here, it's too much. Flood, you know, you see the water coming up. See the water coming up, right? That tree is normally way out the water, and then it drops off down into the river. And now look where the water is. Is it worrying? Yeah. This is my 11th year of doing this. Floods. But only 2 times it actually floods, so hopefully they have their finger on the pulse more, and hopefully it won't flood. But these are all things you have to think about, so that if you think retirement is peaceful and no stress, don't come to rural Thailand. Stay in Pattaya, Hua Hin, Bangkok, wherever, Chiang Mai, whatever. Okay? I hope I shed some light and you have some more information, and it's not negative. Buckets of blessings, rivers of peace, joy, and kindness. All the very best, guys. See you next time.